fake ID or a fake social security number to be able to obtain work. So here you have the possibility of a person who is undocumented, graduates from high school in the United States, and does not have the ability to go to college, to be funneled into the military, serve in Iraq, come back possibly with amputations, possibly with post-traumatic stress disorder, come into the United States, not be a legal resident still, and commit a minor crime, drug-related offense, forgery, or whatever else that's considered moral turpitude or deportable violation. And after serving in Iraq, after having gone through all of that hell, come back here and still be deported. It gives the government the opportunity to take a pool of 65,000 kids who graduated high school in this country, to send them into the military, and upon their return still have the ability to very likely deport them. It's a very draconian bill.
Camilo, let me bring in Gaby Pacheco. What your response to this might be, while it's understandable your hopes and dreams about the DREAM Act, that it may be a way for the military to replenish its forces with Latino youth or with other immigrant youth.
Yes. Well, recently, the Migration Policy Report just came out saying that there is a large majority of undocumented youth that have applied for colleges and universities. In 2006, California alone had almost 2,000 students that were, even though undocumented, in college. The college provision in the DREAM Act says that you have the opportunity to choose to either be able to go to the military or go to the college. And college is for 2 years only. I believe that a lot of the students that are graduating from high school, their desire is to go to college, and it's what's being proven right now. We have many undocumented youth, not only with associate's degrees, but bachelor's degrees and master's and PhD's degrees. And this is just, an opportunity for the students to be able to fulfill their dreams. And as far as the military, I think that that's an option. And I think that it's up to us, the community, and the people that are, the activists, to tell these young people that are graduating every year, 65,000 of them, like Camilo said, kids, to tell them there's options, to tell them that, if they stick to college for 2 years, and it doesn't say that you have to go to the university or the college for the 2 years back to back. It says that in the 6 years that you are with your conditional residency, you have the opportunity to fulfill and finish those 2 years. At the same time, the DREAM Act, with the conditional residency, you are going to be able to work. Students might be able to find ways to cost and pay for their college and university. As well, you are at risk even if you are a legal permanent resident for deportation. So the 6 years of provision would allow for the student to at least have some sort of status and have an opportunity to, those 6 years, find a pathway. And at the end, after they finish their 2 years of college, be able to become a legal permanent resident.
Let me play to young people, undocumented youth, therefore and against the DREAM Act. This is Rishi Singh, who opposes the DREAM Act. He works with or Desi's Rising Up and Moving in New York.
Being undocumented, you don't really get the same amount of rights as other students. I was the valedictorian of my high school, but because I was undocumented, I couldn't get any financial aid or scholarships, and I couldn't really go to the schools that I wanted to go to. Coming from immigrant communities, many of our families can't afford to send us to college, and for many of our young people, there would be no other choice but to join the military. And for DRUM, we basically organize South Asian immigrant families, and we've seen, how war affects our home countries, like in, Pakistan, Afghanistan, or other, how the war on terror has affected us here in the U.S., but also in our home countries. So we don't want, young people to go and fight and continue to kill other people of color in unjust wars, basically.
And this is Jose Luis, an undocumented immigrant in New York who's pro-DREAM activist, responding to the concerns over the bill's military provision.
some people who oppose the DREAM Act because of the military provision. I understand. I'm also a peaceful person. I don't believe in military. I don't believe in wars. But at the same time, you know, there's people who are willing to go, and they love it.
And thanks to Jessel Noor and Kurosa Somali for these clips. Camilo Mejía, your response.
I would not say that there are people who are willing to go and who love it. I would say that it is an option, but it's not a fair option. Like I explained before, the military gives everything to undocumented youth to be able to join the military, help with improving their English, a stable livelihood, healthcare, college money, whereas the provision for the 2-year college degree or 2-year higher education provision does not include any type of federal financial aid other than work study programs and private loans. So it's very unfair because of how unfair it is, because of how different the level of access is between these two options. I would not really say that these are two fair options. I would be more than willing to support the DREAM Act if, for instance, there was a community service option, a third option for community service, which said, you know, young people who graduate from high school and meet all the requirements can work for the community for 2 years and then attain citizenship or a path to citizenship. But with the way that it is, with the level of access and the amount of benefits and the money that the military can offer, as opposed to all the obstacles to getting a college education or a 2-year college education, I think this is just another means of recruiting for the military.
Gabriela Pacheco, what about if you could respond to Camilo, but also to the issue that by pressing for the DREAM Act for the young people who are perhaps the most sympathetic of those who are to the rest of America, of those who are undocumented, you're in essence allowing the political leadership to get off the hook on the question of comprehensive immigration reform, and that might be delayed for years further down the line if the DREAM Act is passed.
Yeah, well, you know, the first point that I wanted to talk about is what Camilo has said. I do believe that there are people that want to join the military, and I think that that's their personal decision, and I don't think that we should impose our own decisions and our own beliefs on other people. And if people want to choose to go to the military and serve in the military, that is the option that they want to pursue and partake. As far as what we were talking about in regards to the military, in the 6-year provision and the language barrier and so forth. There's a lot of community colleges out there. Right here in South Florida, we have Miami-Dade College, which is, you know, it's just a great institution that I know would help a lot of these students. They are helping right now currently many of the undocumented students. They have special scholarships, private scholarships that they get from funders, and there's many ways. Like myself, I was able to put myself through college. I have 3 degrees, and I was able to find a lot of grants and scholarships to pay for those things. And as far as the DREAM Act, I think that it's wrong that we've been allowing for so many young people in the country that are turning 30, 31, 32, for them not to have a status. We've been waiting for the DREAM Act. What we need to do is move it forward. I think we need to team up with Camilo and work together so that we could have provisions such as the options of the community service. I think that those are the things that we need to move it forward.
Gabriela, we have to leave it there. Gabriela Pacheco and Camilo Mejía, we thank you so much for being with us. Democracy Now! Is produced by Mike Burke, Shrufo Dokadus, Aaron Mate, Angelique Comet. I'm Amy Goodman with Juan Gonzalez. Thanks so much for joining us.